For people that have just people that have overcome that, but for people like myself that have never fallen prey to it, like I've never had a sedentary life, but still, to me, like every time I go to the gym, I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
Like I know now that I just have to do it, and it doesn't matter how I feel, I'm going to do the work, and because I've just established that when I get there. As soon as I get there, it's go time. Let's go. And then once I get moving, and once I'm 3 sets in and 4 sets in, and I'm covered in sweat, now we're fine. Now we know what to do. And now I embrace the exertion, and all is good. But I have to do it all over again the next day. And the next day is the same thing. My friend David Goggins, who's probably one of the most disciplined humans that's ever lived, he talks about, he goes, it ain't easy. He goes, when I see my shoes in the morning, sometimes I stare at those motherfuckers for a half hour before I put them on. But
even he.
He'll stare at his sneakers for a half hour, but then he'll go run 50 miles. You know, and that's the difference between a person who can overcome and a person who gives in to those feelings. And some people have never overcome, so they don't even know the beautiful feeling of accomplishing something that's difficult because they've never done it. They've sort of embraced the idea that it's fun to be lazy. It's great to be a slob. It's great to live in this world, and that's the last thing I'd ever want to do is exercise. Get the fuck out of here. And they pretend that they're wise in their choice, that there's some sort of frivolous nature to physical activity. But physical activity is mental activity. You just don't think of it that way because your mind is forcing your body to do the work. You just don't think of it that way. You think of it as being physical, brute, grunt work for cavemen. But the reality is it's the mind that forces the body to do that, and you must have a strong mind in order to get that done. So a strong mind is not just one that can do calculus. A strong mind is not just one that can write books. A strong mind is one that controls the body and all of its inherent weaknesses and all of its urges to be lazy and sedentary and self-destructive. That's a strong mind.
So if we put it back into terms of resistance, let me try and phrase it in that sense. Again, the body doesn't want to. The body wants to stare at those gym shoes for half an hour, right?
Yeah.
The body doesn't want to do it. That's the force of resistance that, in my opinion, is spawned by the ego, right? So as we overcome that and go to the gym and get that sweat going or whatever it is that we're going to do, we defeat the ego and we're allowed to move into that greater, into the soul, into the self. And so that's the battle, in my terms of resistance, that we fight every day. We wake up in the ego, right? Our eyes open, oh, fuck, I'm in this body. You know, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to work hard. I don't want to do anything. But we know that we have to do that, right? That's the path to getting out of this thing that will spiral down into the toilet bowl, right? So we do it. We go to the gym, we work out, whatever it is, and we get into the self. We get into the greater mind. We've defeated that demon for that day.
Yeah.
But it will come back again. And that seems to be, at least to me, that's what life sort of is, you know, at least in terms of our own physical body. Forget about the family or the community, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
But at least within our own little physical envelope of the body, that's the nature of the game every day, and it never ends.
Yeah, you're in a constant state of struggle, mentally and physically, every day. And you can take steps to mitigate that struggle and make it manageable and make your experience better as a human being on Earth. But it requires work. And the same work that you discuss in The War of Art with resistance, I think that applies to many, many things that people do during the day. How many people are out there that want to start a business? They have a desire to do this thing, but there's something that keeps them from doing it. There's this little thing, they get lazy, they want to watch TV, they eat ho-hos and drink Coca-Cola and just don't ever do it. And then maybe tomorrow, maybe one day. Well, in 2023, as soon as January comes around, that's my New Year's resolution. I mean, why do New Year's resolutions exist? They exist because you're not living right now. If you were living correctly right now, you wouldn't need a New Year's resolution. you would just live.
Yeah.
You would just keep on trucking.
Yeah.
That's what you would do.
Yeah.
But we all have it inside of us. We just have varying levels of it. No one is a fully actualized, 100% realized potential. No one. You do the best you think you can do given what you have available in terms of resources right now. But maybe you could have been better. And if you don't think that way, you're not going to get better.
Now, the positive side of that is, if the positive side of our resistance that makes us want to fuck off and eat ho-hos or whatever it is, the positive side of that, as I was saying, is that there is this underground river flowing inside of us, which is our own creativity and our own soul's expression, whatever that is, which could be, painting lowriders or doing your own motorcycles or writing a book or making a movie or having a podcast or whatever it is. And I think that all that resistance, that negative thing, doesn't come out of nowhere. It comes, to me, out of a response to a dream that is not being fulfilled or not being addressed, not being taken care of, whatever that is, so that the doing the work is not generic or not random. It should be something towards something really specific, a dream that we have, a creative dream that only we could do. Only you can do what you're doing, Joe, and only I can do what I'm doing. Nobody else can do it. But that's there, that creative seed, it's that river that's flowing towards the ocean. And so if we can just believe in that river and then take the steps, like you say, whatever, and it's always difficult because it's always in the teeth of resistance. Whatever positive force there is, resistance is like an equal and opposite force trying to push us back. So if we can just keep that, believe in that positive force, believe in that dream, that creativity, and push resistance out of the way. It's like we were talking before about project by project, whatever that project is, to surrender to it, believe in it, and do it.
Yeah, there's a real value in that. And there's also a real value in the way you've sort of defined it and laid it out so people could see it. It's like that old expression, it's okay to have a snake in the room as long as you have the lights on.